And welcome back to more Monster Hunter. Try. Alright, so we just beat the bar off. Gonna go around town just a little bit, talk to the people. What you got, buddy? Oh, okay. A few people have something to say, like Junior and Cha-Cha. And then we will head to getting ready for the heavy bow gun. So we can make a new mask with the double barbecue spit. So I will come back in a second when I am ready with the heavy bow gun. So I will see you guys there. Alright, we're all ready. Just doing a little bit of eating before we get it. Let's see, specialist would be nice. So the heavy bow gun that we'll be using is the one that we've been using for a while, which will be, or I guess since the last one too, which is the heavy bow gun frame, the heavy bow gun barrel, and the Tropeco stock. Gives us a nice variety of status shots, and a shield, and very little recoil because of the Rhinopolis armor, and a lot of stuff like that. In this, essentially, I will be using as many crag or explosive shots as I can. Give me a second. Well, apparently when I was recording this, something didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, so I had to go out to the Mocha Woods. Anyway, the set is essentially using as many crag or explosive or cluster or bombs, sleep bombing shots as I can to try to knock off that crest of the Baroth. So hopefully this goes as planned. We get Fraidy Cat, which will be good. We get Combiner, which will be good, which means, if I remember correctly, we can get as much stuff as we want. Not as much stuff. The highest level, or highest amount of ammo that we can make from a particular combination, the higher means you have a very high % chance of that happening. We also get our new urgent quest, which is to fight a Gobble, which we'll be picking up not next week, but on probably like July 10th. Because I will be gone for the next week, if you did not remember. Yes, so no video up tomorrow, unless I make some little short thing about, say, like a bill that is stupid, that is trying to pass through Congress, and congressmen are old, so they don't quite realize what the gravity of the situation that they're doing and how it will affect everything. But I'm not going to rant about that in this video. Very effective to poison, so make sure you bring poison shots, because they will be fairly effective at this time. Bringing a lot of sleeping material, bringing a lot of bomb material. As you can see there, brought some fire shot material, because you get 3 on this gun. So yeah, hopefully this will go well. Start off with poison shot. Always reminding you, if you're doing a bow gun, you can always automatically reload by holding R and then pressing the X and A button at the same time if you're using a classic controller on the classic 1 setting, which will go straight out of normal, having it sheathed or put up on your back to reloading. So that can be very handy. Saves you a couple seconds of time. Anyway, there we have the Baroth. Didn't actually get him the other time, so why don't we Get him now. Blue, get this out? No. Should have dived through that. Should have hero dived through that. And that's why you have a shield. Cha-Cha got flattened there. And remember that this gun, if you're using this set, this gun has a slight deviation to the left. It's a low deviation, so it's not considerable, but it is a small bit of an annoyance. Cha-Cha, you may not want to stand there. Yeah, was kind of lucky. Now, if I remember right, this fight actually goes really well, minus one part, but that's just because that was my fault. I'll be saying later a lot, not a lot, but on one particular monster, or the fights that I do with it, which are actually live commentary, which is why I'm saying that now, because I have already done them, and then coming back here, that it was not my fault that I got fainted in that video, died, whatever you want to call it. More than anything, you faint, because you're still alive. Only reason why for those I say it was not my fault, because it was really not my fault. There's one section in here where it is my fault, and I agree with it, that was my fault. So I'm loading Crackshot into his head, and hopefully, eventually, it'll break off, or KO him. Should have probably tried to go for Slugger, if I could have. Now let's start our first round of sleep bombing, if we can. And those Banabra. Case in point. And even while you're paralyzed, after you get hit, you don't get back up, which is freaking annoying. It's like, really, game? Really? That's why I always like starting this fight out with some pellet shot if I can. By the way, for all of you that are wondering off camera, because it doesn't really matter whether I faint or anything at all, because it's off camera and I'm just farming for parts and whatnot. I don't usually use status ailments. I usually only use that for online. So let's set up some barrel bomb pluses here. Got one thing in the chamber. Wait, past me. Don't do it from there. Don't. Ah. Yeah, that was my fault. That was completely and utterly my fault. As of right now, any deaths in this series are not my fault, except for that one so far. That one was completely and utterly my fault. Barrel bomb pluses have a very large range, so keep that in mind. Let's take this Mega Dash Juice, because we made it, and there we got max, and my stamina will not fall for a very long time. Okay, technically it doesn't fall for 5 minutes, but that's a fairly decent amount of time. Let's reload up some sleep level. No, let's go with some parashots, I guess. Although I don't think I'm going to get the para off, because I only have 11, and it took 8 the first time, so I think I would need 12 para level 1s. So I don't think it will quite work that way. Hi, Vara! That was a terrible flash bomb. That was decent. Alright, let's hit this guy with as much parashot as we can. Try to paralyze him as much as we can. Maybe it'll only take 11. Maybe I'll get lucky and it will only take 11. Nope, it would take 12. Which means probably the same thing for sleep. Now something to note, people might be thinking, well, why don't you throw in some meat too? I mean, that worked for the Jaggy and whatnot. It doesn't quite work that way for all monsters. Not all monsters eat meat. Like, for example, Quillpeco is... let's see, Fishivore would be a, I don't know. I don't know the technical term for a maritime food scavenger? That might work. Rhinopolis. Let's see, and the Baroth is an insecticided? No, is a insectivore. There we go. It eats the insect stuff. Not the insect stuff. The the anthills and whatnot. It doesn't eat the anthills, it eats the larvae and stuff like that of the Ultros inside. Alright, let's go with another sleep bombing round if we can. Why don't I be smart the next time I can try to tag him? Ow! Ow, that was my fault. That was my fault. Now going back to that one part where I said future monster wasn't my fault that I died. You'll see when it is, and it kind of is explained. You can kind of tell, but I'm usually not that whiny. If you think I am, it's not. I don't. Not usually. Ow! That was my fault. Getting too overzealous with reloading there. Hide behind the tree, he won't see you. But just sometimes in this game, it's a hard game. It is a hard game. Designers made it that way. Sometimes in this game, you just won't win. It just happens that way. Sometimes in this game, the game is not fair. But that's why people like the game. You actually struggle your way out through the game. Alright. Looks like he's going to run. Looks like we get 2 shots. And Rhinopolis is chasing us. Great. Great. And he is ready to capture. He is ready to capture. So let's get this sleep bombing off. If we can. Sleep him. Try to bomb him. And then we can see if we can't capture it. Because I want to get that crown off. If we can. I know you can do it with a lot of other weapons. Where's my barrel bomb pluses? There we go. Right. Now let's be a good... Oh, you... Why? Let's see, I can't lure him over here now. The Ultraroth in this boss fight are annoying as anything else, and it looks like I'm not going to break off the claws. I do eventually. Essentially, you knock off the mud, and then once you break them, they turn kind of a milky white yellow kind of flavor. That was such a waste of a barrel bomb plus. Huh. Just a note, just something to throw out there. I am not one of the great Monster Hunter people. I am just a guy that likes to play it, and it's fun, and that Ultraroth's going to annoy me even more. If you want to check out somebody that's amazing at this, he's already asleep. Well, guess what you get? You get a large barrel bomb to the face. Setting it off with a crag shot, too. Boom! And, darn it, didn't knock it off. And he's down. Yes, if you want to check out some of the great people, check out Social Dissidents or Mazarion. Mazarion, especially, is like the king of all bow gunning. He probably would say, no, I'm not the king of all bow gunning. I'm doing a British accent. I can't do a New Zealand accent. He's New Zealand. He's a Kiwi. But anything that he narrates, he's also pretty funny too. He doesn't do it a lot. His music selections are pretty good too. And chilling in his face. But yeah, very good guy. If you want to see some expert bow gunning skills, check out him. Should be a link in the description in this as well. So there you go. What do we get? 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 Not much that we need. Not much that I need. Yeah. Essentially, after a while of defeating the large monsters, or the big monsters, or the boss monsters, or whatever you want to call it, if you need any large monster bones, or medium monster bones, or small monster bones, eventually you'll basically have all of them that you'll need for the entire game, because if you slay the monster, you get them because, you know, you slayed the monster, so they take the bones. Yada yada. Wish you probably would have captured that one, but it doesn't always happen. Anyway, the Baroth gives you one bowgun part, which is the Barozuka, which I'm going to try to get, because it's, as you can see, very strong. One problem is that it increases your deviation by a crap ton, but it gives you a lot of pellet and pierce and a lot of other stuff. And it's very strong, so it's pretty good. So that's what I'll be farming up next time. Going to the farm, checking on it, because it should be done. No, I guess not. I guess it was off by one. Anywho. Next time on Monster Hunter Try, it'll be a week, by the way, if I haven't explained that. I think I did twice in this video, but if I haven't explained that, because somebody's going to ask where their videos on next week. I will not be here next week. I will be at a convention, so there will not be any videos up next week. But anyway, next time on Monster Hunter Try, we'll be taking on one of the other player stopper monsters in the game. One that a lot of people do not like, named Goebel. Which will show off the quest picture of him at the end. We can get there pretty soon. I'm taking forever to get down there. By the way, this is the Baroth stuff. It looks pretty cool, actually. Am I going to show it off? Gives you a lot of attack and potential, which gives you adrenaline, which I'll be using later. There's an example with the goofy stuff of the Renoplos stuff. Here's an example of its helm. Looks pretty cool. And his cap, which is also looks pretty cool. But anyway, next time, if I didn't already go through this kind of outro thing, we'll be taking on the Goebel. So I will see you then. Later.